Hey guys, and welcome to today's Scott, where I bring daily content on entrepreneurship and personal growth every day but Sunday, so 6 days a week. We bring you daily content on entrepreneurship and personal growth. So this is the last one for this week. It is Saturday and this is the last one. So how do I communicate my learning? How do I communicate each day to you? What I do is I communicate my learnings. So as an entrepreneur, you'll know, or someone who's just hungry for personal growth, we're always learning every day because we're trying to learn every day from mentors, from inspirational influencers, from blogs. And as an entrepreneur running your own business, you just have to wear so many hats and run so many responsibilities. So you're forcefully have to learn. So there's so much you have to learn. So I thought, why not, one, show an entrepreneurial journey so you can see the truth of an entrepreneurial journey and it kind of debusts that sexy life of it. And two, it allows us to communicate, allows me to give you valuable content where you can learn from my failures as well as my successes, and I can also learn because I reconfirm my knowledge. So we're both learning, and what I'm aiming to do is create a community of entrepreneurs in my YouTube channel and my social media platforms, feel confident to come together and speak to one another, to talk about the issues they're facing in business so we can help each other and move forward. And that's why I'm here, guys. I'm here to support you every single day, and I'm also hoping you'll support me when I'm in need as well. So that's why you should stay. I really hope you enjoy. I am where most of us are. I'm in the first few years of business, and that's where I believe most of us are. So you're really going to resonate with me on that level. So this is a really fascinating one because this is, as you'll see by the title, how a successful businessman thinks. How a successful businessman thinks. So really fascinating. I feel like I can make good judgment on that as I have been shadowing a fantastic businessman most of my life, my father, and I work closely with him for the past 3 years, so I really do have a lot of knowledge to impart on you today. And there's two main things we're going to focus on. Well, one main thing, there's another one I'm going to mention as well, which is it really is interesting to discuss. Anyway, let's get into it. So let's get the intro and we'll get into it. Hey guys, and welcome back. So welcome. Daily Blog 64. We're getting closer. How a successful businessman thinks. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. So how a successful businessman thinks. So I've been observing my father for the past, well, my whole life in business, but I mean working closely. I've worked with and around him for the past 3 years. I've worked helping his business. He's one of my clients, and I help his business. So I get to see him every day, and he's one of my close mentors, my main mentor, and that's what I learn. And I just want to touch on two really big points that I've noticed, that he just sees things and I don't. The two different ways, the way he thinks, which I can't, well, at the moment I just don't think like that, but I look forward to the day I have developed the business, I don't know what you want to call it, but anyway, developed to that level. So it is a breath of fresh air, this thing that he does. So what he does is he sees the simplicity of everything. So let me explain what I mean here. So no matter how confusing, how stressful a task is, no matter how annoying and how hard a task is, whenever you speak to him, he just sees it in such a simple way. It's literally when he finally just, because you'll come to him with a problem. So say there's a problem with something where struggling with the marketing, come to him, go, we've got to do this. He'll just, it's like he stands back for a minute, thinks, comes back, and it's just so, I don't know whether it's just his 30 to 40 years of experience, or I'm sure it's a big part of it, or whether he's just got to that level now of just unbelievable knowledge, but he just sits back and he just has an answer, and it just clicks. Every time he gives you an answer, it's just like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense, and you just understand it. So I think there's two levels of things that he's doing here. Is one, he's sitting back and he just sees everything so much simpler. Whereas when you're involved, which I'm going to get into in a minute, when you're involved, you see it very differently. But he almost sits back, looks around, and he just sees it so much clearer and goes, right there, over there, all I have to do is move that there. All right, okay, this is what it means. And he tells you, you're like, oh yeah. So he's understanding doing that. I think he's doing another thing, is what was the other thing? I've completely forgotten now. My mind's gone blank. How daft is that? But anyway, there was two things, and I completely forgot the second one because my mind just gone blank. I hate it when it does that. But he sees the clarity. He has clarity of each task and confusing task. I'll come back to it. My mind's gone blank. I really was on it then. But going into the other part is that he understands how people think and work. So when I said we're too involved is when he comes and gets involved, is he's not as involved. Obviously he's involved in the business, but he's not as heavily involved in my specific task, which is a big difference when it comes to this, because when you're heavily involved in a task, you see things very differently. The blinders can come on very quickly, and that's a really important thing to know. And I'm gonna explain this with more context, because it's something that actually, when I went to a meetup, I think I explained it in an earlier video, but it's something when I went to a meetup, some people actually spoke about, and it made me understand what this meant. So let me explain it. Is when things are going wrong, so when things are going wrong in business and life, in a task, let's just say a task, you start to feel everything is going wrong, don't you? Think about it. When you think of a task, when things are going wrong, when you're dropping things, suddenly just everything for the next 5 to 10 minutes, just everything's going wrong for you. Why is that? That is simply because this is going to be the simple, I'm going to give you now sort of what my manager does to me, give you the simple outlook of what is happening here. This is true because you are looking and focusing on the issues. You are focusing on what's going wrong. Let me explain this further. So what you focus on is going to become your reality. That is simple. If you focus on your goals every single day and focus on how to do it and just continuously learn and just hammer and hammer and hammer on, you're going to achieve them. If you focus on the issues of why you can't do this, why you can't do that, basically the people who moan and whine about their job but never change it, but they'll moan and whine their whole life, they're never going to change because they're focusing on the issues, not the goals. So this is I wish I could draw it out for you, and it would really when it was drawn out for me, it really did make sense. But think of like two mountains, okay? So you're here, there's a mountain here, and there's a mountain here. This mountain is all the issues and barriers. This mountain is your goals and your goal. Let's say you focus on this first mountain, your issues and barriers. Suddenly this mountain goes up like that. And then this mountain is blocking your vision to the goal. So your goal is this little mountain, and this one is a massive mountain. And that's where your issues and barriers, because you're focusing on that. So that's going to become your reality. Whereas if you do it the other way around, again, same mountains, issues, goals, but you're focusing on your goals, suddenly your goal mountain goes huge, and your issue mountain stays the same. So suddenly this becomes much bigger, and this is what's going to become your reality. That is the best way for me to explain it. And I believe that's sort of a nice breath of fresh air, like I said at the start of, that's me taking a really complicated thing in business and the way we work and making it simple for you. And when I learned that from a meetup I go to a monthly basis, it really did just like, I just loved it when they said that, because it really was just making something confusing so much more simple. So that's the main thing, is that he just sees everything so much more simply and so much more straightforward. And then another thing on top of this is that he doesn't just see it simply, but then he knows, this was the other thing that I forgot, bang, got it, yeah. So he knows how to then teach you, what's the word, not teach, he knows how to then communicate it to you, so you will then understand it. So he's done two things. He's sat back, seen what's going on, made it clear understanding so he understands it. He sees it clear as day. He then has to think of a way to then communicate it to you so it's even simpler, or just so you'll know your personality, the way you work, and so you understand it. So he's done two things: understood it himself, planned it out in his head, go, right, get it, now I explain it to you how you'll understand it. So he's doing two things. That's really high level stuff, and you really have to know how people work, how people think, to know that. And that's high stuff when it comes to psychology, and something I think experience is a huge factor in that. With that one, I've obviously experience with working with just varying of different people, as obviously everyone has many different work styles and methods. I think experience is going to be a huge one when it comes to that. So I just think that's fascinating. And whenever I talk about it and think about it, I just think it's fascinating because he does it to me every day whenever there's an issue. Because like I said, there's issues always in business. As we speak on a daily basis, I'll be like, right, this is my issue at the moment with another client or with you or whatever there's an issue with. This is what I'm struggling with, and boom, just clarity. It's like a clarity bomb. That's what I'm going to call it. It's a clarity bomb. That's a great name. He gives you a clarity bomb. Okay, and another pro thing he really does do is, this is just a bit of an additional thing I just wanted to mention. That what I've just gone through is the main thing, and that is how a successful businessman thinks and how he sees things. But I just wanted to mention this other pro thing because I think he does this amazingly as well, which I really respect. Is that no matter how much authority he has and how successful he gets, how big his business grows, he still completely respects everyone's position in their roles. And obviously, you may say, okay, that's a simple thing. Of course he should respect. Absolutely, he's the manager, he should respect. Yes, I hear what you're saying, I understand. But I just think it's so humble for someone to be of that power, to have that much success, and to not be more authoritative. Because you either think when you get to that success, you'd be a lot more authoritative. I think I may struggle with that when I come to it, full transparency. I mean, you don't really know until you have a team and you get that success, because suddenly you've got so much to manage, it's almost so difficult to not be in control of everything. And again, I think it's an experience factor of just learning to feel comfortable to and trust in someone else to do your marketing, to do your sales, to do your accounts or whatever. So that's another huge thing I think is amazing how a really successful businessman thinks, is they respect that they understand and respect that they're not an expert in everything, and they trust other experts, which is the game when you want to be successful in business. You don't know everything. That is how, absolutely not. You're not going to grow and be successful in business by yourself. You're going to grow by finding people who are experts in things you're not. So I need someone who's maybe an expert in content creation, get someone in there. I need an expert in this and this. And I just get them and make an amazing team. And I do what I'm good at, they do what they're good at. An amazing example of that is actually... what's his name now? I think his name's Ben. The guy who, basically the CEO, or should I say, former CEO of Gymshark. And basically he's founded it. He's young. He's like 23 years old, like millionaire. I think they turn over something like 10 million a year or something. Really one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing, gym supplement companies. And he's actually, this is how humble he is and how much he keeps to what I've just said, is he's actually stepped down. He's actually stepped down a company he's founded and ran to an unbelievable amount of success. He's actually stepped down from being CEO, and he's actually focused and gone into chief brand officer, because that's what he believes is best, and that's how he got his successes, because he loves branding and all the branding side, managing the website, and he loves the customer interaction. So he is humble enough to actually step down from something he founded and started on his own, like I am here on in my room now. So bloody hell, like that's hard to do. Like, I don't think I could do that. Like, full transparency, I do not believe I could do that. Maybe one day I will learn how I could do that, but right now, if I got to that success, I couldn't do it. Like, I know I could. So wow, that, like, if you want to really listen to I learned that from Steve Bartlett's podcast, but that he actually does an interview with him on his YouTube channel. So Annie then goes over it on his podcast and talks about him. So if you want to really learn about it, just go to Steve's podcast. It's really interesting. But Jesus, it really is crazy, that, isn't it? So that's what we touched on with how a successful businessman thinks. Is he drops a clarity bomb. He just sees everything so clearly and just has so much clarity. He doesn't just do that. He sits back, sees clarity, and then he computes and like a robot, and then communicates it to his employees in the way each individual will understand it, and then go away and implement it. And also, he's humble enough, no matter with how much success and authority, he's humble enough to respect he's not an expert in everything, and that he can get other experts, and he trusts in them and gives them the freedom to make their own decisions. I think that's amazing. I aspire to that, and I think it's amazing, and I think it's really key for you to take that one away. So my takeaway is take a stand back approach sometimes. Like I said, with that great analogy of focusing on your goals or focusing on the issues, draw that down, what I said, go back to it, draw it down, and it'll make sense. Like, yes, I can say it to you, but when it's on a piece of paper, it's just different. I don't know why, it just is. So please do that, and you'll see what I mean. It really does just open your eyes to what I'm talking about. And I just do that, draw that, and you'll really understand. And when it comes to tasks where you're stressing and things are going wrong, step back, go away, take a break, take your mind off it, switch off it, go do something else, go have a brew, chill out for half an hour, watch TV, whatever. Just go for a run. Fitness is the best thing, if I'm honest. Just get out the house, 20-minute walk, and just then come back and just look at the evidence, look at what's going on, and just refresh. And honestly, you'll just see such a more clearer way, and hopefully we'll be able to develop together to create that successful mindset. And I look forward to that. Okay, it was an absolute pleasure, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Really getting in depth. That was a really in-depth, fascinating video for me. I hope it was for you too, and you gained lots of value from it. As always, if you've got any questions, comments, or any feedback about the videos, please do comment below, or if you feel more comfortable, DM me, whatever you feel comfortable with. My email address is in my About tab if you want to email me. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel where you are now, at Scott Mears. Please do follow my Twitter, at ScottMears_, my Facebook, at Scott Mears Entrepreneur. Thank you very much for day today, Scott. That didn't make sense. I'm trying to think. It's because my brain's dying. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I really apologise. Anyway, please subscribe. Please follow. Absolute pleasure. The best way to predict future is create. Go out there, create your future. This was day today, Scott. I get a day off now, and it's going to be a fun day because I'm going to a concert with my brother. Really excited for that. That's tomorrow, Sunday. I'm really excited for that. So have a great Saturday, have a great Sunday, and I'll see you Monday. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.